The richest person on earth does not own a house. That sentence sounds wrong. It sounds like the kind of thing someone says to generate a reaction. But it is documented, repeated in his own words across multiple interviews, and confirmed by property records. Elon Musk is worth $957 billion. His companies span rockets, electric vehicles, satellite internet, artificial intelligence, social media, neuroscience, and tunneling infrastructure. He became the first trillionaire in human history on June 12, 2026. He rents a small house from his own rocket company. This is the full story of how that happened, what the house actually looks like, and what it tells you about how Musk operates. Start with the moment the decision became public. May 1st, 2020. Musk posted on X, then called Twitter. 4 words. I am selling almost all physical possessions. Will own no house. That was not a throwaway line. He followed through. At the time, Musk owned at least 7 properties, mostly concentrated in the Bel Air neighborhood of Los Angeles. The portfolio had a combined value above $100 million. The most significant was a 9-bedroom mansion in Hillsborough, California, known as Guignacourt, a historic estate that had belonged to French nobles for 150 years. He bought it in 2017 for $31.75 million. He sold it in 2021 for $40.8 million. His Bel Air holdings were sold separately. Multiple properties, collectively purchased for $74.7 million, sold for $84.1 million. One by one, over the course of about 18 months, he offloaded the portfolio. By November 2021, the last property was gone. So where did he go? He moved to Texas. He had already announced he was leaving California, publicly criticizing the state's income tax rates and business regulations. Tesla had moved its headquarters to Austin. SpaceX had its primary launch site in Boca Chica, a small coastal community at the southern tip of Texas near the Mexican border. Musk set up near the rocket. His primary residence became a prefab house manufactured by a startup called boxabl. The boxabl casita is a foldable modular unit, roughly 361 square feet. It has a small open-plan living area, a kitchen with basic appliances, and a sleeping section with a bed. The entire unit costs approximately $50,000. It arrives folded on a trailer and unfolds on site. Musk clarified later that he uses the boxabl unit primarily as a guest house, while his main day-to-day residence is a slightly larger nearby property, also in Boca Chica, also rented from SpaceX, that he converted from a 2-bedroom to a 3-bedroom by turning the garage into an extra room. He does not own either property. Both are SpaceX rentals. In interviews, Musk described the situation without embarrassment. In a TED interview with Chris Anderson, he said directly, "I don't even own a place right now. I'm literally staying at friends' places. If I travel to the Bay Area, which is where most of Tesla's engineering is, I basically rotate through friends' spare bedrooms." His former partner Grimes described their living situation in a Vanity Fair interview. She said their shared house had no security, that at one point Musk had a mattress with a hole in it and did not want to replace it, and that she had eaten peanut butter for 8 days in a row. These are not the descriptions of someone performing minimalism for a camera. They are consistent across multiple independent sources over several years. Now let's address the obvious question. Is this real or is it theater? The skeptical reading is straightforward. Musk controls companies worth several $1 trillion. He has a private jet. He has said this is his one concession to billionaire luxury, spending around $150,000 per flight. His children live in various locations. Property records in Austin suggest he may control real estate through LLCs, the same way wealthy individuals often hold assets privately for security reasons. The no-house claim may be technically accurate while functionally obscuring a more complicated picture. The straightforward reading is also available. Musk works obsessively. He has said he clocks 120 hours per week across his companies. He sleeps at the office. He travels constantly between Texas, California, and other locations where his companies operate. A permanent residence in the traditional sense may genuinely not fit how he lives. The $50,000 prefab house near the launch site puts him steps from SpaceX operations, which is where he spends most of his time anyway. Both readings are defensible. What is documented is this. He sold over $100 million in real estate, publicly announced he would own no house, and his stated primary residence is a rented prefab structure smaller than a studio apartment. The contrast is worth sitting with for a moment. The average American home costs approximately $420,000. Musk's rented residence costs $50,000 to manufacture. The average American spends roughly 30% of their income on housing. Musk's housing costs as a percentage of his net worth rounds to effectively zero. He has $957 billion. His house costs less than a new Toyota Camry. Whatever the actual motivation, genuine minimalism, security, proximity to his rocket company, or a carefully constructed public image, the outcome is the same. The first trillionaire in history sleeps in a rented box next to a rocket launchpad, and the world finds it impossible to stop talking about it. Do you think it is genuine or a PR stunt? Comment yes if you think it is real. Comment NO if you think it is an act. Subscribe Awevault, we tell you what they don't.